Hey guys, this is Cult of Sly, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make an infection map in Fortnite Creative. This is all the devices you'll need, and this will allow you to make a Michael Myers, Fat Kid, Alpha Zombies, or just regular infection style game. Alright, first thing we're going to do, head into My Island and go to Structure. There's not a lot of settings we're going to change, but they're really important. Switch the teams to 2 and the team size to Dynamic. Then go down to Team Settings and make sure Team Rotation is set to every round. Go ahead into the Devices section and pull out a Team Settings and Inventory device. This first Team Settings inventory is going to be our survivors, the non-infected players. Make the Team 1 the default class, Class 1, spawn limit 1, and after last spawn, go to Team 2. That is really important. You can have the max initial team size be the opposite of the amount of starting infected players you want, or just leave it on don't override. Copy that device, and this time it's going to be for our infected team. So switch the team to 2, default class to class 3. This is for Alpha Zombies or Fat Kid. Keep going down and make the spawn limit infinite, and after last spawn, go to team 2. Max initial team size set to 1. That is very important. Moving on, next device. Grab a timer. I renamed mine Timer World. You can see the settings I put here. Have it a short time, like 3 seconds. Turn off all the sounds and everything. And that's all we're going to do with it right now. We're going to connect other devices to it later. Next, grab a class designer and a class selector device from the devices area. We are going to need these for Alpha Infected. Start with the class designer. This is going to be class 1, and this is going to be our default survivor class. So all the settings you want for the survivors, put them in on this device. It's not going to be connected to anything. This is just the identifier for all survivors. Copy that device. This class designer is going to be for our beta infected. Make sure its class identifier is set to 2. This is going to be the class that all players get after they are killed by the alpha infected. When you're done with that, copy it again, and this one's going to be our alpha infected designer. Make sure its class identifier is set to 3, and this will only be applied to the first infected player of the game. Next, we do the class selector. This device will be hooked up to many things in the future. Make sure its class is 1 and the team is 1. This is our survivor class selector. Copy that device. This is going to be our infected beta class selector. Class to switch to class 2, team to switch to class 2. Copy that for the last time and switch the class to class 3. This is our alpha class selector. Next, grab a player spawner from the devices area, and we're going to set up our spawn points. These ones are real simple. Player team, team 1, priority group 1, visible in game, turn that off. And then we're going to hook it up to the class selector survivor so that when a player spawns here, they change to that class. That's set up correctly. Place down as many spawn points as you need for the survivor spawn. Grab another spawn point. We are going to set up the alpha infected spawn. Player team 2, priority group 1, visible in game off. That is it. No other settings with this one. Then for the beta infected spawn, make sure enable during phase is none. Team 2, group 1, visible in game off. And then we're going to connect this to the Timer World device. Remember that from earlier? We are going to have this device enable on Timer World success. That's it for this one. I've been having a bug lately where sometimes players will spawn in the sky for like no reason. To combat that, I have a teleporter here at the survivor infected spawn area. You can see the settings that I have for that right now. We have teleporter group none, we have all the visual effects turned off and everything. And we're going to hook this up to a catch-all mutator zone that takes over the entire map. Make sure face player direction is in yes. Go ahead and grab a mutator zone from the devices area. Open up that mutator zone, make sure VFX are disabled, and then all we're going to do is connect it to that teleporter so that if a player enters this zone when they fall from the sky, they will be teleported to the survivor spawn. This shouldn't really be a problem, it shouldn't be happening, but it does. I'm going to make its dimensions to the maximum, 100 by 100 by 100. This way it catches anything above the top of my map. I'm going to put this zone on top of my map, basically. connect it to the teleporter right here, and any players that spawn above the map will be converted into a survivor. Alright, we're almost done. The last part of this video is going to be the rest of the Mutator Zones. Grab another Mutator Zone, have it encompass the entire survivor spawn point, and then here are the settings that need to be changed. VFX, turn it off, allow weapon fire on, and I have building off. Disable when receiving from timer world on success. And then on player entering zone, have that connected to the class survivor to change player to that class and that team. Make another Mutator Zone and have it encompass all of the infected spawn. Make sure that the infected spawn is high enough or behind a barrier or something so that survivors can't get into the infected spawn. So this zone is for the alpha infected. Turn off the VFX and all that again, but make sure the selected team is Team 2. And then disable on timer world on success. Go to the events, on player entering zone, class selector alpha, change player to class. Alright, the last Mutator Zone and we are done. This one is going to be for the infected beta. Make sure enable during phase is none, selected team is team 2, selected class is class 3, and invert class selection is on. This means that anybody except for the alpha infected will be affected by this zone. Enable timer world on success, and then on player entering zone, class selector beta, change player to class. And that's it. That's complete. That's everything you need to get a working infection game mode in Fortnite Creative. You can customize any of the class designers to your liking so that your alpha infected have different stats or health than the other infected. Whatever you want to do, this is a guaranteed way to get it to work. I know that sometimes it's really buggy and the teams don't work. That's why we're controlling it all with devices. The devices control everything and it should work as intended. This system is how I do all of my infection maps for my Michael Myers maps, Fat Kid, regular infection. It works every time. It's very reliable. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked this video or found it helpful. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I try to get back to people as much as possible. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video.